This developer, City Interactive, has quite a long history of making bargain bin, budget, shovelware games, although some of them are kind of enjoyable. It's a lot of generic first-person shooters, but still, I like first-person shooters, so even if it's generic, I enjoy some of them. However, I played the first two Sniper Warrior games, and I didn't really like them, for various reasons, so I wasn't really looking forward to the third one, and I may review the first two at some point also. But I eventually got the third one hoping it would be at least better than the first two. Well, this time around, it's on a completely different engine. This time it's on CryEngine, which definitely looks and feels a lot more polished than the first two bargain bin titles. Everything about this one is more visually pleasing than the first two right off the bat. The visuals look pretty AAA quality, even though it's probably a relatively low budget game. So what does this game do different then? Well, this time around, it's an open world Far Cry clone, except with more emphasis on tactical sniping and stealth. For essentially the entire campaign, it goes like this. You go to a safe house, you interact with the laptop, you choose the next mission and your equipment, then you drive for 5 to 10 minutes across the map, or you fast travel to the start of the mission. Then, once you arrive, the vast majority of times, you end up on the outskirts of some outpost. From there, you toss out your drone to spot all the enemies and mark them on your HUD. Then you proceed to either snipe them all or sneak past them, straight to the objective. That's basically the entire campaign in a nutshell. But is it fun? Yeah, it's alright, actually. It's extremely derivative though, and a lot of the mechanics are incredibly unintuitive and confusing. For example, there's a crafting system at your warehouse where you scroll through lists of ammo types, gadgets, and equipment, but the way it's set out is so hard to understand and so poorly explained, it's just not interesting to engage with. The menu interface is so confusing and obtuse that I basically just ignored it for the entire campaign. You can unlock a bunch of different weapons and gear, and you can buy them with money you collect by just shooting and looting people and items, although the animation for looting is painfully boring every single time, so I tried to avoid it. But for the first half of the campaign, I just ignored getting any new weapons or anything, because I felt it wasn't needed. And besides, it will randomly give you new gun upgrades and silenced weapons. But this kind of seemed random. Sometimes it'll give you weapons and sometimes it won't. But ultimately, all the mechanics feel shoehorned in as an imitation of contemporary shooters. It's like a straight clone of the Ubisoft open world formula. I'm really starting to think open world games are just generally worse than carefully crafted set-piece to set-piece linear experiences. At least 40% of this game is spent fast traveling back and forth to your safe house or mindlessly driving across the same boring roads just to arrive at your location. What's the point of all the downtime? It doesn't add anything to the game. As for the free roam stuff, who cares? It's the same dull point of interest, which gives you some materials, loot, and crafting stuff over and over, when I already don't have a reason to care about the unlocks much, and I already just want to get on with the main campaign. So yes, for the whole campaign, I just ignored the free roam, and every time a mission ended, I instantly just fast traveled to my safe house and picked the next one. There's no point and no incentive to free roam. Like, who's really going to be so invested in Sniper Ghost Warrior that they feel compelled to just roam around randomly in some low-budget knockoff shooter for dozens of hours? Not me. The main missions are fine enough. So the main campaign is almost the same mission copy-pasted 20 times in a row. Then the game ends. It's almost always drive to X compound, find X guy, steal X item, or kill everyone. It's not extremely bad per se, it's just really generic and forgettable. Nothing stands out. The story is laughable at best. The character animations are hilarious. The characters are all Coomer bait women with their cleavage showing and being seductive, all the while spewing military jargon, with zero semblance of personality or character development. Your main character is just some low-talking voice grunt, and the plot basically revolves around finding your long-lost brother or some shit. It's painfully boring and cliché, but it was kind of fun to laugh at. I didn't like how the game is essentially a glorified stealth game. For at least half the missions, you have an objective, don't get detected, or sneak to this place. I found myself wanting to just stop sneaking around and go guns blazing, but there's so many locations in the game where it's just not what it wants you to do and it will make you automatically fail. The environment is built around being stealthy, for example. There's not really the freedom of choice in a lot of instances. Halfway through the campaign, I bought a super powerful sniper that can't use a silencer and just went around killing everyone in one shot, with gruesome headshot animations. That was pretty enjoyable. There's a weird mechanic where your silencer can actually break and you have to bring around silencer repair kits. But as mentioned previously, the story interface is so unintuitive and clumsy, it was just a chore, even buying ammo and health kits. And the health system is ridiculous. If an enemy is anywhere close to you, you'll just die in one shot. So going close quarters with an assault rifle, you have to be extremely careful and rely on tagging enemies through walls and stuff, or else it's hopeless. There's no regenerating health, and there's a confusing medkit system where you can carry multiple healing items, but it was never clear exactly how much, which one healed. Oh yeah, and did I mention the controls are pretty horrible? There's multiple different radial menus, which are clunky and make you fumble around. And also, there's this thing where you sprint and then hit crouch, and he always does this horribly long sliding animation that got me killed so many times. The climbing controls are crap and will also get you killed. The game has a habit of making you climb around a lot, which is double painful. So overall, what did I like? I like the fact that enemies don't respawn, so you can actually come up to an outpost and strategically figure out how to kill every last enemy and not worry about them constantly respawning behind you. That was pretty fun. The graphics are good. The world looks decent and believable. The story is pretty bad, but it's kinda entertaining in a cheesy B-tier movie way. Game isn't a slog to get through or anything. I beat it in just 6 hours, ignoring all the side crap. But at the end of the day, it's just a ripoff of Far Cry with a lower budget and a focus on sniping. The same derivative contemporary mechanics you've seen 1,000 times, tagging enemy through walls, hit markers, the stealth system with the bars over the enemies' heads. All of it is just the same stuff you've played dozens of times already in higher budget games. It's not done particularly bad, but it's not good either. It's funny how when the enemies don't know where you are, they'll just stand there for minutes on end doing nothing. The AI is bizarre. The enemies towards the end of the game will be wearing super armor and will take half a dozen shots to the chest to take down while they can kill you in one hit. The game is actually pretty tough on the default difficulty. The sniping mechanics are decent, and I thought it was cool you can change the distance of your sniping to the meters of how far away the enemy is. It's pretty tactical and developed, with wind velocity and stuff like that. So the actual shooting mechanics are fair enough. But overall, I give it 6 out of 10.
I can see you!
I see you picked up some new tricks.
You give up?
Not today.
Oh man, how did you even...